Welcome to part 2 of 5 for the series on the SOAR EDR project. If you haven't seen part 1, where we go over how to build out a playbook workflow for this particular project, I highly recommend you go and watch that first, as we'll be referencing that workflow throughout this series. Today, our objective is to install and set up LimaCharlie and making sure that the endpoint is connected and is generating events. By the end of this video, you should have one Windows machine reporting back to LimaCharlie, and then we can begin creating our first detection and response rule. I'll be using Vultr as the cloud provider and we'll be spinning up a Windows Server machine. And if you want to follow along, I'll leave a link down below for those who want to sign up. And if you use the link down below, you'll get a free $100 credit. If you don't want to use cloud, that is perfectly fine. You can use any Windows machine as long as it has internet access. For those that don't know what LimaCharlie is, a quick high-level overview is that they are a SecOps cloud platform that offers a unified platform where you can build customized solutions effortlessly. With open APIs, centralized telemetry, and automated detection and response, LimaCharlie is pretty powerful if you know how to use it. And lucky for you, this project allows you to gain some hands-on experience. Let's get started. I'll be using Vultr to spin up my virtual machine, and again, you don't need to use Vultr, but if you want to, I have a link down below for a free $100 credit if you use to sign up. All you really need is a computer with internet connectivity. This could be an old computer sitting in the corner or even your virtual machine. But if you're using Vultr like I am, all you really need to do is click on deploy and deploy new server. From there, I'll select Cloud Compute Shared CPU. For the location, I'll select Toronto. And let's scroll down here. For the operating system, I'm going to select Windows Standard. And they all cost $14 a month. So I'll just use the latest version. And taking a look at the plan here, which one's the cheapest one? So there's $26. We don't need that. Is there anything cheaper? $24. Hey, beautiful. So I'll take that. I'll disable auto backups, understand the risk, and remove IPv6. Sorry, I'm laughing. It's because I sounded very cheap right there, saving $2. But hey, $2 is $2. Server settings, firewall group. You might not have a firewall group if you're following along. So let me just leave this as is for now. For the server host name, let's just say MyDFIR SOC EDR. Let me put a dash there. There you go. Perfect. Let's go ahead and deploy that. And it did mention in the setup that it said Windows operating system will take about 15 minutes to deploy. So what that means is that I can go and grab a drink or something to eat, and then I'll come back. All right, so after a couple of minutes, it's still installing. So what we can do actually is just start setting up LimaCharlie. To get started, we can head over to limacharlie.io and click on login. And you can sign up with Google, email, GitHub, or Microsoft. I'll go ahead and select sign up with email. Fill in the information here. And then you'll see verify your email. So do make sure that you use a valid email. Once you've validated your email, just go ahead and refresh it. Before you start today, please take a moment to answer these questions so we may best cater to your experience. So I would say go ahead and fill that out, and then you get presented with this screen. An overview of LimaCharlie. So it has your sensors, organizations, outputs, and add-ons. It's a nice little welcome guide to help you become more familiar with LimaCharlie's terminology. So let's begin creating our organization by clicking on this big blue button here. Enter in an organization name. I'll say MyDFIR SOAR EDR. The data residency region, I'll select Canada. And we have a choice for templates. Let me put a dash here just to make it look nicer. And then create organization. So now this is being created and it says it'll take up to 30 seconds. Let's head back over to our Vultr. And it's running. Awesome. And it already generated 2 cents. So let's go in here. And it says, please note, your server may still be finishing installing and booting up during the first few minutes of activation. What I can do is head over to View Console and we can see where it's at. So we do see a Control-Alt-Delete screen. That's good news. Let's go ahead and enter in Control-Alt-Delete like that. And we have our password here, so I'll copy that. Now, just for your information, if you want to copy and paste, all you need to do is click on this clipboard and then paste in whatever you want and then click on paste. So I already pasted in my password, hit OK, and we get our server manager screen. Is there any way I can zoom in here? I'll just full screen it like that. Or actually, silly me, let me just RDP in it. So before I do that, I'm going to set up my firewall. And to set up your firewall, I'll select network, go into firewall. Now I already have a firewall, but let's just say I didn't have that. All I need to do is click on add firewall group, and I'll just say SOAR-EDR firewall, add firewall group. And right now it is accepting SSH from anywhere. That we do not want. So instead we will select MSRDP, which is Microsoft Remote Desktop Protocol on port 3389. Where do you want it coming from? Currently it's set to anywhere. I'll select my IP. And then make sure you select the plus button to add the firewall rule. Once that's done, head back over to your virtual machine, and then we can add in our firewall. To do that, we can select settings, and on the left, you want to select firewall. Right now we see no firewall, so select the drop down and select SOAR-EDR-firewall. Click on update firewall group, and we're good to go. It says it may take up to 120 seconds for these changes to apply. But you know what? Let's just try anyways. And awesome, we're in. What I can do now is actually just start logging into LimaCharlie from the server itself. But now that I think about it, this might not be a good idea because of the specs that I have on this server. It's currently running 1 CPU and 2 gigs of RAM. So that's probably going to take a long time to load up some stuff. So instead, I'll just use my host for the time being to navigate around LimaCharlie. But then when we need to install the agent on our server, that is when we go back over to the server. So over to LimaCharlie, we do see sensors, and we do have atomic red team and reliable tasking automatically created for us. What we can do is head over to installation keys, and from here, we'll select create installation key. So the description here is going to say MyDFIR SOAR EDR project. The tags, if you want, you can start inputting some tags, but I'll just leave it as blank. Click on create, and now we have an installation key here. So what I'm actually going to do is remove the other installation keys. So I'll remove the atomic red team one. I'll also remove the Yara, the demo sensor, and the reliable tasking. That way it's just a lot more cleaner. And over to my sensors list. Now before I begin and install LimaCharlie on our Windows machine, let's quickly go over the web interface for LimaCharlie. On the left, we have our sensors, and under sensors, there's a bunch of options that you can select. Sensors list, event collection, payloads, sensor cull, deployed versions, installation key, and artifact collection. The two main important options in the beginning, in my opinion, is going to be installation keys and sensor list. Installation key is what is going to be used to enroll your machine over to LimaCharlie. Sensors list will then contain your machine once it has been successfully enrolled. And we'll take a look at this shortly. And then on the left, we have query console, artifacts, dashboards, detections, automation, extensions, outputs, organization settings, access management, billing, and platform logs. There are a lot of different options here, but the main thing that we're going to be playing around with in this project is going to be the detections and the automations. So these DNR rules are known as detection and response rules, and we'll be creating our own custom rule. And that is in part 3. Now, outside of this project, there are also some extensions that you can use with LimaCharlie. So you can have Atomic Red Team, Sigma, and other rules that you can use to help you detect and find evil. And of course, outputs. We will be using outputs for this project. Outputs essentially allows you to integrate data from LimaCharlie into other cloud tools. So for example, in our case, we're going to be using Tines. So this is where we can start to configure LimaCharlie to push out detections over to Tines. But again, we'll see this in part 3. For now, let's head back over to sensors and head over to installation keys. And from here, what we need to do is scroll down, and under sensor downloads, we are currently interested in the EDR section, and the server is running Windows 64-bit. So what I'll do is I'll right click this, copy a link address, and over to our server, I'll go ahead and paste that in. And while that downloads, I'll also scroll up in LimaCharlie and copy the sensor key. The reason why is because If we take a look at our installation here, we do see Windows EXE and we do see lc_sensor-i, your installation key. So that is why we need to copy the sensor key, as that is going to be our installation key. On our server, our LimaCharlie is completed. So what I'll do is open up PowerShell, and it should already run as administrator, but I'll just right click it and click on run as administrator anyways. And we want to navigate over to our downloads directory. So I'll type in cd downloads, type in dir, and we do see our LimaCharlie executable. So what I'll do is type in hcp and hit tab because I'm lazy to write out the entire thing. So once that's good, type in -i, and then we'll paste in the installation key. Hit enter, and look at that. Within a couple seconds, success, agent installed successfully. Now you might see an error that says service installed. Don't worry about it. What we can do is head over to services, and we can just hit L for Lima, and we do see LimaCharlie. I'll go ahead and minimize my remote desktop, and over to LimaCharlie, let's head over to our sensors list. And look at that, we have our computer name of MyDFIR SOAR-EDR. Clicking on the sensor, we do see information about our server. So we have our host name, network access, currently it is set to allowed. We also have the platform, the enrollment date, internal IP address, and the external IP. And we also see the sensor ID as well. So that's good to know. On the left-hand side, we have analytics, artifacts. There's auto runs as well. So this is a list of all the auto runs on the operating system. If you're familiar with persistence, this is essentially where you'll look to identify persistence. Going over to console, this is where you can run remote commands from LimaCharlie. For example, let's see if there's anything for network. Oh, netstat, perfect. So let's run netstat, and there you go. We have our netstat output. It also includes the process ID as well. So if you identified a suspicious process, you can take a look at the netstat output to see if it's establishing any outbound connections towards a suspicious external IP address. Clicking on detections. So there's no detections found. There's drivers. Any suspicious drivers that are being used can be found here as well. Looking at event collection. So these are all of the events being collected from the server. And then we have file system. File system is an awesome option to have because let's just say we know that malware exists under the program data directory. So we'll click on that. And let's just say it exists under desktop. So we'll click on desktop. And I know we do see desktop.ini. Let's just pretend that this is a malicious executable. And if we scroll to the right, we have the created, modified, and accessed timestamp. And what we can do is we can just inspect the file hash very quickly. We get our hash. We can even search it on VirusTotal if we wanted to. What we can do is also download the file and then perform basic static and dynamic malware analysis. Or if you have the skills, you can do advanced malware analysis as well. We can copy the file path, move it, or even delete the file. Having access to the file system remotely is just an amazing capability to have as a defender. And then we have integrity monitoring, aka FIM, which is file integrity monitoring. This will show you if there's any changes to a particular file. We have a live feed, so all of the events that are being generated live. Going over to network, this is going to take a while, but essentially it's going to show you your netstat stuff, which we already saw through the commands. Going over to packages, this is going to contain information related to your operating system packages. Over to processes, we get a listing of all of the active processes that are currently on our server. And what we can do as well is click on it and we can kill the process, view the modules, suspend it, resume, download the memory strings, which is amazing, and view memory map. What I like about this is that you can also see the command line. Imagine this, someone calls you up and says, hey, my computer is running pretty slow and my mouse is moving by itself. Now you might be like, okay, we might have something interesting here. So you load up LimaCharlie, head over to processes, and what do you see? You see Excel spawning a PowerShell script running with encoded commands. So that is likely something very strange. Then you can pivot over to network to see if there's any network connections that were initiated by that PowerShell encoded process. What you can also do is pivot over to auto runs. Was there any persistence created by that PowerShell? Yes or no? And then you can also check your services as well. Was there any service that was recently installed? Is there any executable that is running in the temp directory, public users directory, or even recycle bin? There's just a lot of information that you can use to pivot within LimaCharlie. And there's even a timeline. So timeline analysis is incredibly important. So let's just say the user calls you up at 8:40:03 and says, hey, something strange is on my computer. Well, take a look at the timeline and you can see surrounding events very quickly. You don't even need to run any queries. You can just go over to the timeline and just start looking from ±5 minutes. And hopefully you can find something interesting. If you do find something interesting, just click on it and you get all of your details on the right. And lastly, we have our users. So we see the users that exist on our server. Now going back over to that PowerShell example, maybe that PowerShell created a new user afterwards. Who knows? But you can see that user here. And you can also see when they logged on as well. We now have a machine with LimaCharlie installed and confirmed it is generating events. In part 3, we will start to generate events for the password recovery tool and begin creating our detection and response rule. That is it for the video, and I hope that this has been helpful for you so far. If you have stumbled across any errors along the way, do plan on researching it, and if you can't find the answer, leave it in the comment section down below. Remember to stay curious and do things differently.